read it. I'm not sure if it's going to be seen online or not. Okay, so anyway, we'll read about Srila Vrindavana Dasa Thakur. On the sacred Dashami Tithi of the dark fortnight in the month of Madhusudana, the Gaudiya Vaishnava community observes the disappearance day of a towering spiritual titan, Srila Vrindavana Dasa Thakur. Known eternally as the Vyas of Chaitanya Leela. He is the holy author who gave the world the Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, preserving the pastimes of the golden avatar for all future generations. Divine identity. The Vyasa of Gaura Leela. In the Gaura Ganadesh Deepika, it is revealed that Srila Vrindavana Dasa Thakur is the direct incarnation of Srila Krishna Dvaipanaya Vyasadeva, the literary avatar who compiled the Vedic scripture and wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam. Just as Vyasadeva was empowered to describe the eternal pastimes of Lord Krishna, Vrindavana Dasa Thakur was specifically empowered by his spiritual master, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, to narrate the heart-rendering pastimes and divine mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami beautifully glorifies him in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, quote, Chaitanya Leela Vyasa Vrindavana Dasa. The Vyasa of Chaitanya Leela is Vrindavana Das. The son of Narayani Devi. Srila Vrindavana Dasa Thakur took birth in the village of Mamagachi in Moda Druma Dweep, Navadweep. His mother was Srimati Narayani Devi, the niece of Srivas Pandit. His life was touched by the supreme mercy of Lord Chaitanya from the very beginning. The Lord's remnants. When Narayani Devi was just a 4-year-old child, Lord Chaitanya, in his ecstatic mood, called her forward and fed her the remnants of his personal meals. He blessed her to chant the holy name, causing her to shed tears of pure love. A blessed birth. It was in the womb of this highly favored and pure devotee of Srila Vrindavana Dasa Thakur It was in the womb of this highly favored and pure devotee that Srila Vrindavana Dasa Thakur took birth. Shortly after the Lord accepted the renounced order of sannyas. Lord Chaitanya. The gift of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat is magnum opus, originally titled Chaitanya Mangala and later renamed Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, is a masterwork of pure devotion. Writing with absolute authority, fearlessness, and deep compassion, he chronicled the early years of Nimai Pandit, the thunderous Sankirtan movement in Navadvip, and the pastimes of Lord Nityananda. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur frequently expressed that even a stone would melt upon hearing the descriptions written by Vrindavana Dasa Thakur. He fiercely defended the absolute divinity of both Gora and Nittai, boldly establishing that without the mercy of Lord Nityananda, one cannot approach Lord Chaitanya. Meditations for devotees on this day. As we observe his disappearance day, let us pray for those essential blessings. A taste for Shastra, to develop a deep, sincere attraction to reading the pastimes of the Lord, especially through the authoritative lens of pure devotees. Shelter of the spiritual master. Srila Vrindavana Dasa Thakur was the last initiated disciple of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Let us pray to develop an unwavering faith and surrender to the instructions of our spiritual master. Let us bow down at the lotus feet of the manifest Vyasadeva, who opened the doors to the pastimes of Navadvip for the entire world. All glories to Srila Vrindavana Dasa Thakur. That's the end of the bio. Okay. The other one I found was the same length. So he wrote Chaitanya, which was later changed. The name was later on changed to Chaitanya Bhagavat. Sometimes the devotees write a book, and then they find that the title of their book was actually this. Some other devotee had already written the book by that title, so then he changed the name. So that's what happened here. Chaitanya Bhagavat. I think I don't have it here though. I didn't realize what day it was. I could have brought Chaitanya Bhagavat, but doing about Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. Yeah. I didn't bring it with me today. So it's very wonderful that we read about these extraordinary personalities who are pure devotees of the Lord. We have in Vrindavana Dasa Thakur was actually an incarnation of Srila Vyasadeva, right? Vrindavana Dasa Thakur is an incarnation of Srila Vyasadeva. So we already were well familiar with Srila Vyasadeva, right? Because he compiled, wrote down, and expanded so many Vedic scriptures. So that same personality, whose main function ultimately was to glorify Lord Krishna, now in the presence of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, he appears again as Vrindavana Dasa Thakur to also to write down in an authoritative way the actual pastimes of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda is mentioned a lot also in that book. It says here he was writing with absolute authority, fearlessness, and deep compassion. So he was present during the time of Lord Chaitanya. So he was like writing biography about Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, and their associates. So he was as they were engaging in their pastimes. and he was also there. He was an associate. He was present, and he was recording everything. You know, people today, historians, uh, like to do this. They're present during some great event in the world, and they start writing it down, writing books on the subject. That's how we have so many books from uh, all kinds of personalities in the material world. So here he wrote the best book. He wrote the best information by keeping a diary of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. And it's very it's significant that he got this information by direct perception. I mean, he was directly there. He wasn't depending on somebody else telling. Sometimes people tell stories that their parents told them or that their grandparents told them who got it from somebody else, who got it from somebody else. But he wrote this down from his personal, direct perception and witness the pastimes of the Lord. And not only that, but the pure devotees like this, they not only do they try write down what is accurate, but they can write it down in the proper mood. To present the Lord as in the way He wants to be presented. Somebody else might have seen Lord Chaitanya in his pastimes and not been a devotee, and they've written down many things. I don't know, but that kind of writing is useless. So here's a very special personality who had personal audience of the pastimes of the Lord and his pastimes, and he personally was writing down like a diary of all the activities of Lord Chaitanya from Lord Chaitanya's childhood on. So that was that he presented in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. The Chaitanya Bhagavat is really just about the Lord's pastimes as compared to the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is, what's the difference? Krishnadas Kaviraj wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's also about Lord Chaitanya's pastimes.
Those pastimes that are not described.
Yes, there are some things that are either not described or just not described in detail. At least that's one. What else? What does Chaitanya Charitamrita have that Chaitanya Bhagavat doesn't have? There's especially in Srila Prabhupada's purports, but it's also there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. A lot of philosophy, Krishna conscious philosophy. The Chaitanya Bhagavat basically is the pastimes. Chaitanya Charitamrita has so many pastimes, but there's also so much philosophy that's presented along with that. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is also very, very special for those on the path of Krishna consciousness, not just to know Krishna's pastimes or Chaitanya's pastimes, but to understand the philosophical significance of those pastimes. That's Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Charitamrita. I actually don't know I really don't have a whole lot to say unless there are any questions or comments we can discuss a little bit more.
I think it's very interesting. Some of the some of the stories described in the championship and whatnot, they just like it could be the same story but perspective is slightly different. Maybe like
Yes, many times we find that, not just in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, but in Krishna's pastimes. There are different devotees who who write books about the pastimes of the Lord, but their their presentation is a little bit different mood, all in glorification of the Lord, just like who was it? Kavi Karnapur, also devotee devotee, pure devotee of Lord Chaitanya. Kavi Karnapur. So he was Kavi. He's very poetic. He wrote very nicely in a very poetic way. So he wrote a book called Gopal Champu, I think. It's about no, not Gopal Champu. That's Srila Jiva Goswami. It was Vrindavan. I don't know the title now. Something Champu. Vrindavan Champu, maybe. In any case, he wrote. So we read about those pastimes of the Lord Krishna. The same pastimes we read in Krishna book for the most part, but he presented them in a very poetic way. It's hard to say, but the mood is different, a little bit different. It's all in glorification of the Lord, and the information is basically the same. And then Srila Jiva Goswami, in his book, he wrote Gopal Champu. It's a very big 2-volume set. It was translated to English. It's a 2-volume set, and you read about Krishna's pastimes, and he especially emphasized the rasa. The information was there, a lot of the pastimes were there, but the presentation was different than the Srimad Bhagavatam presentation. So these are same knowledge, same pastimes for the most part, but presented by different devotees, emphasizing different aspects. But Srila Jiva Goswami's book is very, very heavy in rasa relationships between the different devotees in those pastimes.
Also, some stories they appear almost contradictory in CD. At the first glance, for example, Sabhavoma Bhattacharya, he described the mind body in CD initially but in CD, his description, he described like a devotee.
Oh, that would have been later on, because he definitely became a pure devotee of the Lord.
Even when he meets him, it's very interesting. But when he described in CD, it's different. So, and he doesn't become a devotee later on. But even like initially, when he's even before what he had he reached that verse, he got this one verse.
Yeah, the Aparama verse.
Before that, presented as almost like that.
And then, well, yes, and another thing is, I'm sure this applies to Lord Krishna. I know it applies to Lord Krishna. It must apply to Lord Chaitanya. Although they only appear once in a day of Lord Brahma, Krishna at the end of that, we'll call it that Dwapara Yuga, and Lord Chaitanya in the beginning of the Kali Yuga, in that same period. But they do appear again and again. Sometimes we see different pastimes of the Lord that are slightly different, and that's because, at least one reason is because uh, the Lord may adjust his pastimes a little bit from between one appearance and the next. And these pure devotees, they have, you know, you become a completely pure devotee of Krishna, you develop this quality of what become known as like trikala. You understand, because Krishna's in your heart, you understand past, present, and future, so you can, they sometimes are aware of something that Krishna has done, even in his previous incarnation. You know, they're just, it's revealed to them. So, you know, just like Srila Goswami wrote some books, actually they were plays, Dr. Madhava, I think, and Lalita Madhava. And they're, anyway, one of those books, it shows, you know, just like the gopis, when Krishna left Vrindavan, they left the gopis there, but in one of those books, the gopis actually later on become the queens, Krishna's queens in Dwarka. So we don't have that in Srimad Bhagavatam, so I have to say it must be from a previous appearance, I assume. But anyway, the Lord sometimes does these things. He changes a little bit, little adjustments. Even even other incarnations. I know there are many appearances of Lord Nrsingadev, many appearances, but we know him in the half lion, half man incarnation. Yeah, we know that form, but there are, I think, I know that there's descriptions in other parts of the Vedas of Lord Nrsingadev appearing at different times, different places, and his he appears a little bit differently at different times. Here we have half lion, half man, and he performs the pastime of killing Hiranyakashipu. Anyway, there's different descriptions. So it's not contradictory. It's just that the Lord appears a little differently. Also Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha is mentioned twice that I know of in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto, chapter. What chapter it is? Anyway, Lord Buddha, who we know of, is mentioned there along with the other incarnations. And then, but in this later on, in the second canto somewhere, there's other incarnations mentioned, and Lord Buddha is mentioned again. But that time, Lord Buddha's incarnation is a little different. It was not the one who was born as a prince and was, you know, the one we're familiar with. It was another Buddha, another incarnation. Srila mentioned in the purport that he appeared in a previous Kali Yuga, and he was at people at that particular time. I guess they were materially very advanced because they were actually able to go flying to other planets and they were killing the people there. And just like Lord Buddha, this incarnation, he came at a time people were just going crazy and they slaughtering so many animals, so he came to try to stop it. So the same principle then, but they were actually going to kill people in other planets. So he came to correct that situation. That's about all it is. Not very, I don't really know anything more about it, but Srila mentioned only that this is a different Lord Buddha, different appearance of Lord Buddha who appeared in some previous Kali Yuga. Like that.
I think it's also interesting that in other Kali other 999 Lord Buddha is all so kind of.
Yes.
So I also have sometimes it comes a little later during the Kali Yuga because Kali Yuga is falling if not
Yes. So the Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna in his original form, and Lord Chaitanya only appear very rarely, once every 1,000 cycles of the 4 ages. So we're talking about it's one day of Lord Brahman, who also has a one night. So it's about 8,640,000,000 years between Lord Krishna's and Lord Chaitanya's appearance in this time and in its previous time they appeared. So this is also very special for us. We happen to be here at the time that Lord Chaitanya and Lord Krishna had appeared within this world. Any other questions, comments? Okay, so then we'll end for today, and tomorrow we'll continue with the. Yes, it's a. Yeah, bring a volume over.
A lot of times on Sundays, a lot of Los Angeles, I think on Sundays, they're on
Yeah, okay. But remind me, I'll bring over my volume. I'm going to just leave it here because books are hard to get by, come by. But I'll, yeah. I can bring it each week too. It's just a matter of getting in the habit of it. Yeah, it's for Sundays. Okay, so we'll plan then next Sunday we can read from start reading from the Chaitanya.
maybe it's somebody else.
And somebody else can read it also.
It's almost impossible.
Yeah. Several volumes. So we're in for today. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.